Welcome to the Active World, the place where English learning meets everyday life context and your engagement. Today we'll have listening comprehension, in which you'll hear 5 speakers talking about their attitudes to physical activity. Your task is to match each speaker to a sentence that best sums up their thinking on the subject. If you are curious about the making of the listening, you can check out the description under the video. But now, the task awaits, so let's get going. Good luck.
It all started at school. Some boys made fun of me because I couldn't even catch a ball properly. Then, I began making excuses to skip PE class. Instead of burning tons of calories in the gym, I prefer to watch what I eat. I know exercise is important, but I simply don't see the point in forcing myself to do something I genuinely dislike. In my opinion, there are other ways to stay healthy without having to endure exhausting workouts.
As a child, I was a bit chubby, and I experienced bullying at school. I hated the flab around my waist and arms. It was frustrating to always have the worst results in PE. One day I had enough, and I tried running. Day by day, I pushed past my physical and mental boundaries. Now, I'm a passionate marathon runner, and running is my way of life. Looking back, I realized that overcoming my insecurities was just as important as improving my fitness. Running has taught me resilience and discipline, which now help me in other areas of life as well.
Most of my days are spent working from home, and I lead a sedentary lifestyle. It's something your body slowly adapts to until you barely notice it. I heard your body is like a machine. If you don't use it, it gets rusty and becomes useless. Lately, I've been experiencing severe back pain and cramps. I think it's time to seriously consider reversing the painful consequences of my inactivity. I know that starting an active lifestyle will be challenging, but I have no choice if I want to improve my quality of life.
I'm a fitness instructor, and working out has always been a big part of my life. However, it's also how I make a living, which means I rarely allow myself a rest day. My trainees expect me to be full of energy and guide them enthusiastically on their fitness journey without complaints. But sometimes, I feel down myself and don't feel like working out either. There are days when I have to push through exhaustion and pretend to be more motivated than I actually am. I remind myself that everyone, even a professional, struggles with self-discipline from time to time.
Exercising is my way of letting off steam after a long day at work. The moment I step into the gym, it's like a wave of new energy washes over me. The atmosphere, the people around me so motivated and engaged, it's what gives me a boost and keeps me coming back every single day, no matter my mood. I love the sense of accomplishment after an intense workout because it clears my mind and lifts my spirits. Fitness has become an essential part of my daily routine, and I can't imagine my life without it anymore.
Now, I hope you've completed the exercise and it wasn't as that difficult. Now, let's have a look at some of the expressions. The first speaker says that something is pain in the neck. She uses that expression to define something that is annoying and frustrating. If something is a pain in the neck, you dislike it. So the speaker says that the exercise is a pain in the neck, and she finds it something bothersome and unpleasant. She doesn't really enjoy it. Make fun of someone. The second expression that she uses, if you make fun of someone, it means that you laugh at a person in a mocking and unkind way. The speaker talks about being teased during the PE classes that made her feel extremely embarrassed, so the other students were making fun of her. Chubby is a polite and gentle way to describe somebody a little overweight. So the speaker says that as a child he was chubby, so a little overweight. You can also talk about chubby cheeks if they're like full and looking roundish. Yeah, chubby. Chubby is this pretty friendly way of saying that someone is overweight. Now, flab is this soft body fat, especially around certain part of your body. Here we are talking about waist flab, so too much fat around the speaker's waist. Usually this flab is something we'd like to get rid of, so you can use this flab, and it's often used when we talk about getting rid of flab. If you want to get sculpted and get toned, yeah, you have to get rid of waist flab. To overcome something means to succeed in dealing with difficulties. The speaker talks about overcoming insecurities, so he needed to fight his insecurities. He needed to find a way to forget about them, to battle them, and it means that he overcame something in the past. The next one is the third speaker, and the speaker says that she has or leads a sedentary lifestyle. A sedentary lifestyle, like the word seems to be hard to pronounce. You have to kind of squeeze it, make it shorter. Sedentary. And that means that in your life you have little activity or no activity at all. The speaker works from home, so she doesn't have a lot of movement throughout the day. And that's why sedentary. Rust is this orange-brown, reddish coating on metal. When you, for example, leave your bike in the rain, the metal parts might get rusty. The same happens with skills or maybe your body. If it has been inactive for a long time, it gets rusty. So that's the sign that it starts breaking down. The fourth speaker says that being a fitness instructor is the way she makes a living. To make a living means that this is the way she supports herself financially. It's not only her hobby, this is the way she makes a living. She earns money. That's her job, that's her profession. And then she goes on to saying that sometimes she feels down. She shares that being a professional sometimes also makes you feel down, and it's normal because you might have the days you feel unmotivated, a bit depressed and a bit sad. So that's normal, that's something typical. Then the fifth speaker has got one phrase that I found particularly useful and maybe difficult, so it needs explanation. Now, let off steam. Let off steam means that you release stress, that you get rid of negative and strong emotions, like for example anger, frustration. And going to gym and exercising after a long day allows him to let off steam, so recharge batteries, makes him feel better. What's your way of letting off steam?